Good morning, Gen Pop. All right, today's video is going to be talking about TSP and why it's a good idea. So, most of you 18, 19-year-old folks that are coming into the military, you may have a little bit of money saved up. You may have a trust fund. Who knows? All right. In either case, you always want to set yourself up financially after you're done. All right, your thrift savings plan, your TSP. It's not exactly free money, but depending on how you invest it, whether with the help of a financial advisor or if you're, savvy about the stocks, that's cool too. All right. The ultimate goal is to make sure that you set yourself up for something, even if you don't retire from the military. Okay. So, TSP, they've got a couple different funds. There's G Fund, which is your basic stuff. You invest, it's super safe, it's super low yield, so low risk, low reward, that sort of thing. You've got your C Fund, your S Fund, your I Fund. These are all different funds. The names escape me right now, but they vary from low risk, low reward to high risk, high reward. All right, as far as volatility goes. Your best bet is to talk to somebody. Ideally, they have a financial advisor at your military family readiness center on base. And you sit down and you talk to them, you explain what you're trying to do. All right? If they're worth their salt, what they'll do is they'll sit you down, they'll figure out what sort of funds you have, look through your financial stability, and hash out a plan. All right? Now, the nice thing is the financial advisors on base should be free. If they're charging you, that's not cool. Two, that's news to me. All right? Since they've already got a job, they're already working for the military, their job is to help you guys out. I'm saying this because as a young airman, I decided not to do much with my TSP for the better part of 5 to 6 years. I started really getting into it and investing more, and now I'm sitting pretty with about 30 large in it. Granted, there are folks that I've seen them with, $250,000, $500,000. Hell, there was one guy I saw, it was at like 1.2. But I digress. Those individuals, they put a lot of money into it, so good on them. I chose not to because I was dumb. I was young, thought I knew better, whatever. In any case, I got smarter. I started, talking to financial advisors, seeing what was up, and it's grown exponentially since I've gotten out. The nice thing is, even if you retire or you're out, if you still have funds in your TSP, you don't have to take them out. Now, granted, if you don't get another federal job, you won't be able to put money into it, but you can still invest the money that's there. So, essentially moving it from column A to column B to column C, that sort of thing. And you can still get more money with it. The point I'm trying to make is, even if you are in for 4 years, if you're in for 20 years, get a TSP, all right? I'm not trying to put anyone on blast, but I had a coworker who recently retired within the last, 3 months. And this individual did not have a thrift savings plan at all. He did 20 years. His wife, and his 3 kids basically moved from one state to another because they did not prepare themselves efficiently enough, or properly enough, I should say. And now they're in some dire straits. The wife is pseudo-blaming the military as far as not preparing them. I call bullshit. All right? First and foremost, when you go through that whole thing, okay, the transition airman program, or transition airman program, TAPS, they talk to you about everything. All right? It is a federally required program that they realized was a huge, it was a linchpin. If they weren't doing this, people were failing left and right as soon as they got out of the military. All right? So they're required to do this thing. They talk to you about making sure your TSP is set up. They're talking to you about TMO, or Travel Management Office. They're talking to you about resume building, how to properly dress for an interview, things like that. All right? They're looking at your skill sets, trying to figure out how that correlates to civilian life. If you're a crew chief on a C-130, okay, cool. How does that correlate to civilian life? If you're a firefighter, that correlates pretty damn well, right? But if you're a rigger and you deal with parachutes, how does that correlate to civilian life? Not a lot of parachute making in civilian life, if you get what I'm saying. Anyways, so the whole point of the program is to make sure that you are equipped with the tools and skills, or at least knowledge, to go forth and enter the civilian life. Allegedly, this individual did not sign the paperwork like he was supposed to, or didn't think ahead going, hey, we may be moving. Why don't I sign up for the Travel Management Office just in case? Or, hey, we won't be able to live on base anymore. Why don't we go ahead and start looking at stuff, right? Nope. They decided to try to pack up their house at the 11th hour. Luckily, they had friends and neighbors that were willing to help them. They then caravanned across state lines and ended up on the East Coast. And now, like I said, they're in some dire straits. The point I'm trying to get to you is this. Make sure that you are preparing yourself for when and if you get out. All right? If you're preparing yourself for like the last month or two before you retire or anything, nah. You're already way behind the power curve, and there's nothing you can really do. I mean, you can still try, and good on you. You never want to give up. Stay in the fight. But if you're going to retire, you're going to separate, you should be thinking about your career and your lifestyle, what you want to do and everything, 6 months, a year out, easy. Start looking for jobs. And if anybody says you can't start looking for jobs when you're in, bull. There's nothing that says you cannot look for ulterior employment while still serving. In fact, there's actually a form that you can do if you require or request another job while you're in. As long as it doesn't bring dishonor or anything else to the military, you can do other jobs. I had a troop that worked as a security guard while she worked under me. Okay? I'm just saying you can't hang out at like the local dispensary or, work at the cabaret, if you get what I'm putting down. All right? Again, that bring dishonor to the military. Don't do that. But you can work at Walmart. You can work at if you're a mechanic, you could work at a Jiffy Lube. It doesn't matter. If you need an extra job to, bring in income, or you don't do anything on the weekends, okay, do what you're going to do. I digress. So anyways, like I said, his family's in some dire straits. While I feel for them and I hope everything works out for them in the best, I also put blame on them. Simply because they chose not to prepare themselves, knowing that they were getting out, knowing that he was leaving the military, and despite what she says, the military should have and more than likely did prepare him with classes, with knowledge, and with advisors that I would hope in no uncertain terms explain to them, this is what you will not be able to do anymore. You will not be able to live on base, you know? So, for them, you know, good luck. Hope it works out. You know, luckily for me and mine, we knew what was going on and we prepared 6 months to a year in advance. I was looking for jobs when I was on Skillbridge. Hell, I had no problems picking up dog poop. If it meant bringing a paycheck in and making sure that my wife and kids had a roof over their head, I'll do whatever. I don't care. So, luckily I'm not doing that. But the point is, you got to be willing to do whatever, you know, you can to make ends meet. Anywho, that's it. That's my soapbox. If you guys happen to stumble upon these on YouTube, that's great. Awesome. Thank you very much. If you want to check out my other videos, I've got like 7 or 8 more. You know, I'm not not exactly a YouTube phenomenon, if you know what I mean. But if you like the knowledge I'm dropping, or my, I guess, point that I try to bring across on my videos, cool. Please subscribe, follow, do whatever. If not, hey, at least you watched the video. So, happy Thursday. Hope you all have a great weekend. And until next time.